Just answering questions, Lap Tech. Here we go. It's been a quiet week, so we only got one on this channel for right now. Personally, the motive is clear for a shooting somewhere, or mass shootings. It's always the same thing for some people. Roll out new gun regulations, which has happened how many times? The Brady Bill is the only one I can think of, and that's because it was an attempted assassination of the president, shooting another person. Then we have another vice president who shot somebody on a hunting trip. No laws changed. Connect conspiracy theorists with mental health issues, thus affecting veterans and the likes. No. Most veterans I know think conspiracy theorists are full of shit. In fact, all of them so far, unless they are actually mentally ill and confirmably and overtly so. And even they aren't conspiracy theorists in most cases. Schizophrenia is what you're talking about. That's an actual problem. And a metric fork ton of people who've suffered post-traumatic stress syndrome have a habit of retreating into a fantasy world. I retreat into one too. It's called YouTube. But I'm not a veteran or a victim of anything at all. I'm just an ordinary crazy person. But no, that isn't actually happening either. You may have noticed that our president sucks up conspiracy theories like crazy. He just denies it after a while, like everything else. In fact, him saying overtly Mexico's going to pay for the wall, now he just says he never said it, because literally lying about reality is contrarianism. Let's continue. Think about how many guns could be confiscated and less of a threat the majority of well-trained individuals would become. Except that most well-trained individuals know how to make sure that they have weapon parts around, or how to hide things, how to cache things, or in my case, and many other people's cases, including the people I grew up around, how to just make a damn gun out of pretty much everything. This is a stupid argument. I'm not trying to be insulting to the person. This is retreating into a fantasy world level of crazy stuff here. That doesn't mean that I'm buying into this conspiracy theory thing about conspiracy theoryception here. But we can get something else out of it. Let's continue. Making it easier if and when martial law is imposed. Martial law doesn't get imposed in the United States. Find out how many times it's been done. It's actually a pretty rare occurrence, with the exception of one or two actual isolated incidents that people who yell martial law all the time about Obama, Hillary Clinton, but not about Trump, who's actually said the words martial law. Most of you don't know of any incidents where this has actually happened. There are ones in history, but looking at history and facts just doesn't dawn on most people. You're being deluded. If you obsess about it being about your guns, that is actually prima facie evidence that's all you're concerned about. What about just rounding up people and keeping them from doing what they want? Or keeping them busy with stupid stuff like this? I'm trying to help here a little bit. I think Stephen Paddock was a gun runner who was set up and burned. Why? There are gun deals going on right now a block from you. People buy and sell massive amounts of guns because in the United States it's not illegal to resell a gun. Even if you don't have licensing and stuff, it really is pretty difficult to convict you of anything like that. It really is. Because you have to prove that the person never intended to own them. That's really hard to do. And did he have a history of doing it? No. Is there any witnesses anywhere of him ever selling a gun or buying one? Buying, yes. Selling, maybe a couple of times. Large numbers of guns to, the Al-Qaeda? No. Anything like that? No. This is a dumb thing to come up with. This is literally trying to make it about gun running because you want to make it about gun control. This is I'm sorry, the person who posted this. This is you literally repeating stuff that is just dumb. This doesn't make any sense. There's no compelling reason for you to have this. This is the other thing. There's a compelling reason to decide that there was a shooting in Las Vegas and because people were hit with bullets. There's a compelling reason to decide it was one person so far, Stephen Paddock. Deciding to exonerate him and make it about gun running, but we're exonerating him? Oh, he's a patsy? He was burned because of a gun running? If you didn't want anybody to know about your gun running thing, you wouldn't create a big disaster. You would just make it to where you hid the guns. The guns were in the room. Who was he selling them to? No, it's not an entire country where the literal gun laws say that you can buy and sell these for, what is the expression from the MIA song? $20? I'm sorry, but why are we talking about semi-auto weapons when we're talking about countries that have fully auto weapons that you can just go buy? Did anybody know that one of the gun-running countries you're talking about is actually, you know, the Saudis? Exactly what for is the million-dollar question. At this point, it's not important as the long-term ramifications or implications when it comes to the freedoms of law-abiding citizens. You're not talking about law-abiding citizens. You're talking about people who obsess about guns. You're talking about people who obsess about a mythical gun grab that never happens, who keep believing this, who keep listening to fearmongers tell them, be scared. I tell you, learn how to make a gun. I can say that without having my channel flag. Learn how to make a semi-automatic pistol and rifle, and learn how to make a shotgun properly. Learn how to make a black powder revolver, because it's got no limitations or restrictions on it. Learn how to actually do this. You can teach yourself how to make an AR-15. You don't need to do anything other than learn how to make these things and then make them. Why is this such a hard thing to do? You'd rather be keyboard commandos talking about this stuff. You've been led astray. Side note is it shifts power more so in favor of those with assigned authority, leaving most Americans feeling even more helpless. Now we've gotten to the real problem. These are people who have guns. These are people who are screaming about gun rights, because no matter how many weapons you have, you feel powerless to a superpower called the United States government. Yeah. You're in a country that isn't enslaving you. It's not exterminating the white race. It's not in any way, shape, or form persecuting Christians. It's not attacking former Marines. Okay, it does screw over people who are vets. That's one thing I will agree with. The Veterans Administration is basically one giant long waiting list to die. That needs to be fixed. Go out and fix it. Actually fix this. No, let's just scream about our gun rights, because that doesn't make us look, what did you say, mental health issues? This is like obsessing about whether or not you're going to have your car towed when you have literally no reason to have your car taken away from you. You haven't broken any laws. You're not going to get arrested. But I know people who obsess over whether or not they have a right to drive by saying, it's not a privilege, it's a right. Have you ever broken a law? No. Do you have anything on your... do you have any dings on your record? No. Then there's no reason to pull you over. Why are you obsessing over this? I know people who go out of their way to pick fights with cops so they can prove cops are nothing but Nazis that have never had anything happen to them before. I think they do it for the thrill. Before you know it, we'll be answering to them. You already are. It's called the U.S. government. Duly appointed and put in place. Don't like it? Change it. Oh, that's right, you already did. And Trump is running your country. And you're still not happy. Doesn't sound like voting for Republican or Democrat is going to fix anything. Elephant or donkey, it doesn't seem to matter. We're all still waiting in this shit. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that, and keep sweeping that floor.